Hello, friends. Dan Masshart here on behalf of the ERC Ministry Training Institute to give you a brief invitation and introduction to the class that I will be teaching this spring, actually kind of winter spring. It's going to begin in February 2022, and it is the second half of New Testament 101. So this class is available whether you've taken the first half or not, but it is going to be a great class. I'm really excited about it. And I just want to, again, spend these few minutes with you here today, inviting you and discussing what this class is going to be all about. So the last one that we just taught this last fall, and we taught 2 years ago as well, covered primarily the Gospels, Acts, and some of the general epistles of the New Testament. This class that I'm inviting you to today is going to be primarily focused on Paul and Paul's letters. That's going to be the bulk of the course. We're also going to cover Hebrews and Revelation as well at the end of the semester. So this will complete the New Testament introduction journey. This is not all the way into the full depth of each book, but it's going to give us a general overview. And so this class is, I hope, going to be of interest to a number of people. One, if you are in the credentialing track, pastoral kind of training track, this is a required class. And so I'd very much encourage you to take it if you haven't already, if you're on that track towards licensing or ordination. But it's also going to be a class that you can take or audit for really anybody that wants to grow in their knowledge of the New Testament. What this class enables us to do is really dive deeper than really oftentimes pastors are able to in a sermon or a Sunday school lesson. It gives us an opportunity to really dig deeper into some of these letters. So I'm going to do 2 things here in this class. We're going to both as we go through each week, and you'll see that in the description, you will see the links, okay, to the syllabus, the registration page, and the 2 textbooks, which I'll talk about in a minute. So if you click the link to the registration page, it'll give you the details of the location and dates. It'll give you a link to pull up the syllabus, which will show you all of the assignments that I'll talk about briefly in a second, the textbooks, the schedule, and all that sort of information. So I'd encourage you to go ahead and click those links, and I'll put them in the comments here as well, so that you can see all of that information. So the class will be held at Fairview Bethel Church of God, which is the congregation that I serve outside New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. We'll also be doing a hybrid Zoom option. So if you're not able to get there in person, I'd encourage you, if you can, to get there in person. I think it's really beneficial for us to have that face-to-face classroom interaction. But if you're too far away, or it's really nice too, if you just are having a travel week or sick week or something like that, you can jump in on the Zoom and get it and get it that way. So it'll be Tuesday evenings from 6 to 9, and we'll start again. If you pull up the syllabus, you'll see this information. We'll start on February 1st. There'll be a couple-week break around Easter, and then we'll end at the very beginning of May. So that's kind of how the semester will go. Again, Tuesday evenings in person or on Zoom. There's a cost for this, but we believe it's very reasonable. It's $150 if you're taking it for the credentialing track, and if it's not your first class, you're already familiar with that, or $100 if you're going to audit it. Now, what's the difference? To audit means that you're not getting credit in that track towards credentialing, which for some of you is not anything that you're interested in. So that's fine. Auditing, in addition to costing a little bit less, is you don't have to do the written work. Okay, there's no assignments that you're expected to do with the auditing, although you're invited to. And I've actually had several students who have decided to do some of the assignments because it really helps you learn. That's why we do it, not just to make you add stuff to your schedule, but because by thinking through and being able to communicate what you're learning and processing really helps the process. But I do want to really encourage everyone who decides to sign up for this to buy the textbooks. Now, there's 2 books. If you just finished the first half, you already have one of the books, but some of you won't. And so that is called Exploring the New Testament. Again, there's links there. I just linked to Amazon, but you can get the information, then search around eBay, christianbook.com, whatever. So exploring the New Testament, this is going to be the book that we use to get an overview of some of the background, the history, the main themes of each book of the Bible that we study. So this is one that you'll want to get. And then at the same time, we're going to do something a little bit different. This book is called Paul Distilled. It's a very small book. This, I believe, is pretty accessible as well too. This is not the thickest and most academic, detailed of textbooks. It's, it still is. The reason I chose this because it incorporates really good evangelical scholarship, but it's also fairly accessible language, and the chapters aren't real long in that. But Paul Distilled is, as the title says, Gary Burnett is the author, really trying to get to the essence of, what is Paul really all about? What's his kind of core message? What are the implications of it? And that's really what we want to, do in this class is, yes, get kind of introduced to some of the aspects of the letters and the background that maybe, again, we don't always get to in a sermon or a Bible study. But at the end of the day, we really want to know, what is it that Paul is all about? What is it that are his main themes that come across, multiple of his letters, and that we really can understand. So this is going to be a great book to have some good conversations to dig into. So our class method is going to be each week. We're going to do both for the most part. Again, you can see the details in the syllabus. We're going to do both. A little bit of this where we look at one book of the Bible each week and dig into the background and themes. But we're also going to spend some time most weeks dealing with one of the major themes across Paul's letters, right? So this is a discipleship-focused class. It's not pure, academia. We do want to get to some, things that we ought to be aware of kind of behind the scenes. But at the end of the day, we want to be shaped really to know and love and serve Jesus. That's what Paul is all about, right? And so that's kind of, going to be really at play here. There are some assignments, and you'll see those. You'll just kind of want to get a handle what those are. Again, for credit. If you're auditing, you don't have to do any of the assignments, but you'll see it there in the syllabus. Once you pull it up, there'll be 3 short blog-style articles that should hopefully not be really intensive. There's going to be one bigger project in exegesis, right, which is a fancy kind of word for deep Bible study. An exegesis research project. We're going to dig into a passage of Scripture, which is going to be great, right? Just really go kind of all in on that one passage and what it means, and then there's going to be a brief class exam at the end of the section on Paul's letters, just to kind of get a feel for the synthesis of kind of where we've gone with that. That might be all. I don't want to make this long, but I want to encourage you, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. You can email me or call me or message me or whatever. I'd be glad to answer that. And I hope that you'll consider joining us kind of no matter where you're at. This is really an invitation to anyone who wants to invest the time, who has the time to kind of sit down and really go in deep on Paul's letters, and then a bit on Hebrews and Revelation as well. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.